You know, back in the early 70s, Honda launched the CB500. It was a standard, air-cooled, inline 4-cylinder motorcycle designed to do everything a motorcycle should do: provide reliable, low-cost transportation to the masses. Then, in 1993, Honda launched the CB500 Twin. Again, a low-cost, reliable, easy-handling motorcycle. Good for commuting, weekending, even racing back in those days. Fast forward almost 25 years, and Honda has now launched 3 CB500 platforms using the same liquid-cooled, fuel-injected parallel twin-cylinder middleweight engine. The X is for adventure riding, R for more sporty jaunts and track riding, and the version you see here, the Street Standard, well, I guess it's for fun. And guess what? Just like its predecessor dating back to the 70s, this motorcycle has been designed to provide reliable, low-cost, easy-handling motorcycling. Good for commuting, weekending, even perhaps tackling a track day at your local racing circuit. Sound familiar? Talk about a long-standing recipe for sales success. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here now is lifetime street rider Dave Fox. Why, he liked the CB500F so much, he bought one after doing our road test.
David, I always like starting these road tests with the first impression question because I know my first impression, orange. Sharp.
It is.
Man, do I like it. What did you think?
Well, I don't think I even care if the bike starts or not. I think I would just buy it because of the color.
Yeah.
Because I have a tangerine colored car and I have a lot of orange clothing, and I had an orange motorcycle, orange Honda in high school.
Right.
And I was called Pumpkinhead because my helmet was spray painted orange to match the bike. So yes, I love the color.
It's your color, is it?
It's probably my favorite color.
It's the color of creativity, and I gotta say that Honda have been very creative with this 500F because it just looks great, eh?
It does, and of course, you know, Honda has three different versions of the 500. You know, the sport bike and the adventure tour, and then this one. Mm-hmm. And I guess I gravitate toward the looks of this one. Again, it's called a naked bike, and I just like the fact it's kind of tough looking, but it's not really large to handle. It's just so easy to handle, and but it still has that tough, naked look to it.
Yeah. Well, we break it down as always. Let's talk about the motor. It's a 500cc twin-cylinder, parallel twin-cylinder engine. What did you think of the engine?
Smooth, good torque. When you're even going along at pretty much any speed, there's no vibration in the mirrors or anything, so therefore it's comfortable to ride.
Yeah.
Easy start, even in 6th gear, you can pass a car.
Yeah.
So if you have to make a maneuver quickly, mm-hmm. even in high gear, it still is able to respond.
How about the stopping power? I noticed you've got the ABS brakes. What did you think?
Yeah, no, they work well. I didn't really do anything today on the test ride that would require them necessarily, but I've ridden other bikes that have had ABS, and I have deliberately tested them, and they certainly do what they're supposed to do. And associated with the brake, even for those with smaller hands, this year, for this 2016 and 17 year, they have the adjustable brake lever too. So
yeah.
Again, it's all connected with the braking.
Yeah. What about just the overall suspension? There's a lot of potholes this spring here in Prince Edward County. You know, overall suspension setup?
Yeah, the suspension is good. I know some people have commented that the suspension is not quite as durable as you might like, but because I don't weigh as much as some people, if I weighed more, mm-hmm. probably I would feel it maybe bottoming a little bit, but I certainly didn't riding around. And yes, there are lots of potholes to test it, so the suspension was fine.
Yeah. Now, we're very different in terms of height, and I was surprised. This bike fits me just fine, very comfortable. I like this wide saddle. What about for you?
Same. Again, yes, a different height, but I'm still sitting almost upright. Obviously, I have to reach a little further forward than you might have to.
Yeah.
But my legs are in a comfortable position. They're not completely bent back. The wide handlebars, it helps with maneuverability.
Mm-hmm.
That part is good. So very comfortable. I've ridden it for an hour or more. I don't necessarily ride for more than an hour before I stop for a break anyway.
Yeah.
And it was certainly comfortable for the hour.
Yeah. How about the indicators, the mirrors? How did that all work for you?
Mm-hmm. Mirrors are great. I can see past my shoulder, at least with one mirror not as much, but maybe just the way it's configured.
Yeah.
And yeah, lots of things to read on the dash. Sometimes the way the sun hits it, you have to really look carefully.
Yeah.
So you've got your gas gauge, your speed, you've got a clock, 3 or 4 things that are certainly helpful when you're out on the road.
Was there anything that disappointed you?
Not particularly, no. I must say, and I know some viewers always think, well, you always rate these bikes so well. But I guess maybe I'm not as particular as some might be, but it's comfortable, it's sharp, it's got lots of power for someone who wants to commute and someone who wants to get on a 400 series highway for at least a short period of time.
Yeah.
You have to recognize there's no windshield.
Right.
But that's not going to fit in with this style.
Yeah.
If you want to have a windshield on a bike and tour for a lengthier period of time, you're looking at a different bike.
Great for commuting though.
Oh, wonderful for commuting.
Yeah. So who are we going to recommend this motorcycle to?
Pretty wide range in this case. I think maybe not a beginner, but a beginner might start off with a 125 or a 300 or something like that, but they could very quickly move into this one. And if they took a course, probably a beginner could manage safely on this bike. Mm-hmm. And for anyone like myself who've been riding since high school, because it's fun, and if I want to go somewhere for a short run or even a longer run, I could jump on and go.
Right.
So I think an experienced rider who maybe doesn't want to spend a huge amount of money on a $10,000 or $12,000 or $15,000 motorcycle, in Canada, these, especially if it's last year's model, brand new on the floor, you're looking at like less than $6,000.
Yeah.
And out you go.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good value.
I'm sorry you didn't like it. That's great, Dave. Great job.
No, thanks.